She had burned 17 demons alive before breakfast, and not one of them had made her feel anything. But when his lips touched hers in that crumbling cathedral, Helena Crane felt her soul crack open like an egg, and something ancient poured out. Let me take you back 6 months to the night Helena first realized she wasn't entirely human. She was working the closing shift at a dive bar in Portland when a man walked in wearing a coat that smelled like sulfur and old blood. He sat at the end of the bar, ordered whiskey neat, and stared at her with eyes that reflected, light like a cat's. Helena had seen strange things before. This city attracted weirdos like moths to a flame, but something about this man made her skin crawl in a way she'd never experienced. "You don't belong here," he said, his voice layered with harmonics that shouldn't exist in a human throat. "Neither do you," Helena shot back, reaching under the bar where she kept a baseball bat. He smiled, and his teeth were just slightly too sharp. "You're right. I belong in hell. The question is, where do you belong, Helena Crane? Because that thing inside you, that's not fear, that's recognition." Before she could respond, he lunged across the bar. Helena didn't think. Her hand shot out and grabbed his face. White-hot fire erupted from her palm, engulfing his head in flames so pure and bright they burned blue. He screamed once, a sound like tearing metal, then crumbled into ash that smelled like burning sage. Helena stood there staring at her unmarked hand, breathing hard. The bar was empty. She was alone with a pile of ash and the certain knowledge that her life had just fundamentally changed. The second demon came 3 days later. Then a third, then more. They found her wherever she went, drawn to something inside her they called the last flame. Helena learned quickly. Fire poured from her hands when she needed it, and demons burned like kindling. She didn't know why she could do it, didn't understand what the last flame meant, but she embraced it. For the first time in her 28 years of aimless drifting, she had purpose. She became a hunter. No ritual, no holy water, no exorcism. Just her hands and the fire that lived beneath her skin. She tracked demons through the Pacific Northwest, following the scent of sulfur and the whispers of people who'd seen things they couldn't explain. In 4 months, she sent 43 demons back to hell. But Helena had a secret she didn't share with anyone, couldn't even fully admit to herself. She felt nothing when they burned. No satisfaction, no remorse, no triumph. Just emptiness. The fire that consumed demons seemed to be consuming her humanity too, one killing at a time. She was becoming something hollow, something mechanical, a weapon with no one holding it. That's when she heard about the Templar. His name was Marcus Thorne, supposedly the last surviving member of an order that had died out centuries ago. The rumor said he'd been hunting demons since the Crusades, cursed with immortality until he completed some impossible task. Helena didn't believe in curses or immortal knights, but she believed in results, and Thorne had been spotted in Seattle, where a nest of demons had been growing bold. She found him in the ruins of a burned-out church on the city's forgotten east side. He was exactly what she expected, broad-shouldered, dressed in dark clothes, a silver cross hanging against his chest. What she didn't expect was the sadness in his eyes when he looked at her. "You're the girl with the holy fire," he said. It wasn't a question. "And you're the immortal Boy Scout," Helena replied. "Want to compare notes or just stand here looking tragic?" Marcus smiled despite himself. "You think this is a gift, what you can do? You think you're saving people?" "I am saving people. 43 demons can't hurt anyone anymore." "And how many pieces of your soul did those 43 demons cost you?" His voice was gentle, pitying, and it made Helena want to hit him. "The last flame doesn't just burn demons, Helena. It burns the humanity out of the vessel that carries it. Eventually there's nothing left but the fire. You become what you hunt, something without mercy, without love, without anything that makes you human." Helena's hands ignited, flames dancing across her knuckles. "You don't know anything about me." "I know everything about you. I was there when the first flame bearer was created 900 years ago. I watched her save the world and lose herself doing it. The Order of the Temple kept the flame bearers in check, helped them stay human, but my brothers are all dead now. You're burning alone, and it's killing you faster than any demon could." He was right, and Helena hated him for it. She could feel the emptiness inside her, growing with each demon she burned. Some mornings she woke up and couldn't remember why she cared about saving anyone at all. "So what?" she said. "I stop hunting? Let demons run free? No, you let me help you. There's a balance, a way to use the flame without letting it consume you. But you have to trust me. They hunted together for 3 weeks, and slowly, Helena began to understand. Marcus taught her to see demons not as things to be destroyed, but as fallen creatures to be pitied. He showed her how to use the flame precisely, burning away just the demonic essence and leaving the host alive when possible. He made her talk about each hunt, process the violence, maintain her humanity through reflection and connection. And against every instinct she had, Helena began to feel again. Small things at first, satisfaction when they saved a possessed teenager, grief when they couldn't save a man who'd been hosting a demon too long. Marcus made her feel human in a way she'd forgotten was possible. The nest they'd been tracking led them to an abandoned cathedral in the mountains. 17 demons, the strongest Helena had ever faced, all gathered around something that pulsed with sickly green light. As they got closer, Helena realized what it was, a rift, a tear between worlds. The demons were trying to open it wider, bring something massive through from the other side. The battle was chaos. Helena and Marcus fought back to back, her flames and his blessed blade cutting through demon after demon. But there were too many, and they were too strong. Helena felt the flame inside her guttering, failing for the first time. A demon's claws raked across Marcus's chest, dropping him to his knees. Without thinking, Helena poured everything she had into the flame, every reserve, every bit of power she'd been carefully controlling. Pure white fire erupted from her body, a nova that incinerated every demon in the cathedral. The rift sealed. The building shook, and Helena felt herself disappearing, dissolving into the flame like salt in water. This was it, the price. She'd saved them, but there would be nothing left of Helena Crane, just fire with no one inside it. Then Marcus was there, his hand on her face, pulling her back from the edge. And he kissed her. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't passionate. It was desperate and necessary and impossible. A Templar's blessing, a piece of his immortal soul pressed against the flame inside her. The kiss tasted like tears and ashes and something older than words. Helena felt the flame stabilize, felt herself coalesce back into a body, a person, a woman who could feel. But she also felt something else pour into her from Marcus. Centuries of memories, all the weight of his immortal life. She saw his brothers die in the Holy Land. She felt his endless years of hunting, the loneliness that had carved him hollow. She understood finally what he was. The curse that kept him alive wasn't punishment. It was purpose. He'd been waiting, hunting, surviving for 900 years for this exact moment, to save the last flame-bearer from consuming herself. That was his impossible task. And he'd just completed it. When they broke apart, Marcus was smiling, actually smiling for the first time with real joy. "Thank you," he whispered. Then he crumbled to dust, the curse released, his soul finally free. Helena stood alone in the ruined cathedral, surrounded by ash and silence. The flame inside her still burned, but different now, tempered with something of Marcus's soul, balanced between destruction and preservation. She could feel everything, grief for a man she'd barely known, gratitude for his sacrifice, horror at the violence she'd done, hope for who she might become. She wasn't hollow anymore. She was human again, broken and burning and beautifully, painfully alive. Helena walked out of those ruins carrying Marcus's silver cross and a new understanding. The flame would always be part of her, but it would never consume her again. She'd hunt demons still, but as a woman with a heart, not a weapon with hands. Because the last Templar had kissed her, and in doing so had saved her soul. Some sacrifices aren't about dying for others. Some sacrifices are about living long enough to teach someone else how to truly live. Marcus had waited 9 centuries for that moment, and Helena would spend the rest of her life making sure his wait wasn't in vain. She had burned 17 demons that morning, but only one man had made her feel human again, and he'd given everything to do it.